Hello, good evening, everyone. Jimit Sangvi from Collegepond here. If you can hear my voice and can see the presentation, can you please type a yes in the chat box? Okay, great. Let's get started. The agenda is on the screen. Also clarifying a few things. This is not just US centric. There are still universities in Europe, Canada, Germany, Australia as well, which might need the GRE. So I'm trying to talk in general across the globe today and discuss the pros and cons and how do we go about figuring out what is right for you. And then we'll open it up to Q&A. Okay, just as a background, we have sent people to top universities in the world across various streams and domains. Is in the year 2021 and 22. 22 is not updated, but people applied without the GRE, some with GRE. So the last 2 years, 21 and 22, were a mixture, right? And 23 continues on the same line. And then we'll talk about the year 24 and onwards as well. The recording will go on YouTube in the next 2-3 days. Okay. Why is the GRE waived off? Just a quick 1 minute recap on what's happening in the pandemic. So before the pandemic, you could not give the GRE, GMAT, TOEFL, IELTS exams from home. You had to give it in the center. The centers were closed. People could not give the exams. The universities were forced to waive off the GRE, GMAT. Again, for 2021, there were still universities that said, sorry, we will not waive it off. You have to give it, figure out a way how you want to give it. Okay. So 21, I would say about 80% had waived off. For 22, I think that number came down from maybe 80% to 65% this year. Again, I think it's come down to maybe 50%. Again, it depends from stream to stream. We'll talk about that in the next few slides as well. Again, with the GRE online happening, a lot of copying cases happened. And so, with ATS was trying to be strict about it, but people were finding loopholes on how to copy. So a lot of universities have said that we will not accept the GRE from home. This happened recently, 2-3 months ago. So, if in case you're given the GRE from home, you want to recheck with the universities that you finalized. And in case you are planning to give it from home, I will advise it to change it to center to keep all the universities options open. Okay, having said that, so we understood the foundation on why GRE was waived off, right? And it's continued maybe, with still not all countries have been 100%. The staffing has been an issue. People know of how the visa problems are happening. The travel problems are still happening. Okay, eventually it might take some time to, sort things out. Hopefully by in the next couple of months, things will be back to normal. 24 might be the back to pre-COVID days is what my interpretation or my projection would be. Now, should you apply with GRE or without GRE? Okay. So a couple of things you need to understand over here. One, are you a good exam taker? Or even if you are contemplating, should I apply in 23 or should I apply in 2024? Here maybe I'll work for a year and go in 2024. We come back to this question, are you a good exam taker? There are a lot of people who panic under pressure. Hey, I'm capable of a 315, 320, but on the exam day, there is phobia, nervousness, I panic, and I'm not able to cross even 300. So if you are not a good exam taker, then you actually want to target 23 over 24 because GRE is still waived off in many colleges. In 24, if all the colleges want the GRE again, then we'll have a tough time. I've had students who got into top schools like Georgia Tech, Columbia, Carnegie Mellon, Michigan Ann Arbor, UCLA, UCSD last year with the GRE waiver. Here I got a 291 GRE. I'm going to apply without GRE, and that guy went to Columbia, right? So even with the bad GRE score, you keep quiet, you don't send the scores to the colleges and let the college focus on the other aspects of your application profile. Right? So now if your exam scores are not good, okay, and your overall profile is great, your acads are great, you have work experience, your awards, etc., then maybe you want to figure out applying without GRE and hope that the admission committee focuses on other aspects of your application process. Right? So again, coming back to the question, should you be looking at 24? Now if your GRE score is amazing but your CGPA is not good, your other parts are your weak points, and all the colleges that you are targeting have GRE waived off, right? And maybe you are not playing to your strengths, you are playing to your weakness. In that case, you might have a better chance in 24, or you want to target those colleges where GRE is compulsory. Okay, so just giving you a base on that. Which countries are waiving of GRE? So let's first start with USA and then we'll move to other countries. So in USA, let's talk of engineering first and then we'll talk of, so when I say engineering, it also includes some technical areas like say HCI, architecture as well. Okay, technical programs. Many have waived off the GRE as per the program. Right? If you're going into say electronics or chemical or mechanical or environmental, I would say that 70% to 80% have waived off the GRE. If you're going in a competitive field like say computer science, I would say that many need the GRE. If you're going in management related programs, if you're targeting marketing, you're targeting finance, you're targeting MIM, I would say that more than 70 to 80% need the GRE. So GRE is a must if you want to go towards management oriented programs in the US. Let's coming to Canada, UK, Ireland, and maybe to an extent Australia. If you're going for management programs, then I will recommend you to give the GRE exam, GRE or the GMAT, because even UK, Canada, Australia, the management programs need the GRE or the GMAT exam. Okay. Engineering, I would say that all of them have waived off. Engineering, architecture, pharmacy, if you're targeting Canada, UK, Ireland, Europe, you can definitely go ahead without the GRE exam. Okay. I got a couple of comments stating my voice is not clear. Am I clear now? I don't know. Is this audible? Maybe some spike in the internet connection. I'll just give a quick recap on this. Okay. So a quick recap. For USA, management programs need the GRE or the GMAT exam, marketing, finance, MIM, etc. Engineering, architecture, HCI will depend from program to program. More competitive the program is, more colleges need the GRE. For Canada, UK, Ireland, and Australia, engineering, architecture, pharmacy, etc., the technical programs, GRE is not required. Management related programs, GRE is required. Okay, moving on. What will be the admission criteria of universities where GRE is waived off? Okay, so obviously one of the main areas that the university might focus on will be CGPA or your grade point or your academic score. For some programs, they will lay emphasis on work experience. Again, it varies from college to college. So college A might give preference to work ex, college B might give preference to your grades, college C might give preference to any patents or paper publications, right? Extracurriculars, I will not say is a huge deal. At an undergraduate level, maybe yes, it is important. At a graduate level, I would say the first three will play a very high important role, right? CGPA, work experience, and paper publications Paper publications predominantly if you're going in a technical program or a research oriented program. Okay, so these three is what the universities will lay down their criteria on. There is another criteria that is not written over here is early application, right? First come, first serve. Okay. Many colleges are rolling. In fact, there are colleges where admits have already started coming out. Okay, irrespective of GRE or not, different programs, different colleges, the admits have already started coming out. So in case you apply late, there is a very high chance that the seats might be filled up, right? So applying early is another important criteria. Now I'll tell you what advantage that also has is because, let's say you are planning to apply to three sets of colleges A, B, and C, the tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, like the ambitious, moderate, and safe, right? So let's say you apply to a tier 2 and you get an admit immediately in the next 1 month. Now what you can do is you can ignore applying to the backup colleges and maybe replace them with some more ambitious colleges. Okay, so what happens is you can strategize depending on the early decisions, right? If you get rejected from a moderate college, maybe you want to reduce your ambitious list and increase your safe list. I'm just throwing an idea as an example. Again, it needs to be customized from student to student, but applying early has that advantage. Now, many people ask me, what is early bird? What is late? What is early? There is no right definition to it. I usually tell my students the moment you are ready, you apply. Okay, that doesn't mean you compromise on your quality of your essays, your exams. It's okay to apply maybe a week late, but with good quality. But the idea is you apply as early as you can, as simple as that. Okay. Universities that have waived off the GRE. Now, I've just given you some snippets over here. Obviously, there are many more out there. I can give you a list of 40 for computer science. Okay, but I mean that will just go on and on. I'm just taking up 4 or 5 of the most frequently, asked questions that we got. Okay, obviously there are programs, I would say, like architecture, pharmacy, etc. I mean, we could not accommodate construction management, finance, marketing. We could not accommodate everything today. We'll just try to go through a quick synopsis of few colleges. They are in front of you. Okay. So I would recommend, I'm not going to go in depth, but I'm just trying to give you a synopsis that a lot of things have been waived off. You can Google it up. You can check the university website as well. There is one catch or a caveat to it is there are some universities which even last year were changing their requirements throughout the year. In August, they waived off the GRE. September, they made it compulsory. October, they waived it again, right? Some of them do that. It's unfortunate, but I would say that 90% will not vacillate. But some of them have done it. In fact, we had students who applied to a college because of a GRE waiver, and the university emailed them, hey, sorry, we have decided to put the GRE in again and you're not given the GRE. So either you give the GRE or we'll have to cancel your application. It was an unfortunate or a one-off thing, but things like that have happened. Okay. So similarly, we could talk of engineering, management, electronics, mechanical engineering, industrial engineering, so on and so forth, right? So yeah, having said that, again, it's a very department centric thing. So for example, if I look at mechanical engineering, say Arizona State University has waived off the GRE for mechanical, but it needs for computer science, right? So it's not a college specific thing. One mistake that happens is when you Google it up, hey, Google says that this needs the GRE. Keep in mind the requirement will change from department to department. One department might need, one department will not need. Okay, so don't randomly just go by names that you get on Google. You want to recheck it with the university website as well. Okay, a lot of colleges that you can apply for free. Just letting you know, we have a lot of free application days coming up where you could apply to a lot of these universities for free. I'll just need to share one more thing with you. Just bear with me for a minute. Okay, I need 1 second. Hold on. Okay. I am missing a slide. I'll just quickly share it with you, maybe through another screen sharing option. Just bear with me for a minute. Okay, I've shared a screen with you guys. I hope this is visible to you. Okay, maybe I've just written down a summary of how do you go about tackling whether you should be sending your GRE score or not. I'll quickly give you a minute to go through this. Okay, I guess this is self-explanatory. Now keep in mind one more thing, that the breakup of your quant verbal and essay writing is equally important. You might have a very high total score, but your quant score is not good, or your essay writing is not good. Then in that case you might not want to apply with your GRE, right? So it needs to be taken on a case by case basis. Hey, my total score is 330, but the AWA is 3. I would say please don't send it to some particular colleges depending on the program that you are applying to. Okay, so it needs to be thought through considering what the historical average has been in that place for that program, and what is your breakup of quants, verbal, and essay writing. So all those things need to be taken into account before you decide whether you want to send your scores to a particular university or not. Okay. Fine. Coming back to. Okay, shoot. Okay, I'll just type it in the chat box. Okay, I know this thing is a formatting is a bit screwed up, but maybe you can just copy this. Maybe I'll just and maybe you can then later on just I'll put it in the chat box, and you can just save it and maybe read it later on. Okay, so like I said, you need to decide on the breakup of the quant verbal essay writing also before you decide whether you want to send it to the university or not. For those people who have not yet given the GRE and are contemplating when to give, how to give, I might even throw in a suggestion that maybe you give your TOEFL or IELTS first and then start applying to colleges where GRE is not required. Okay, so you don't miss out on the early bird applications in those colleges. Another point I want to highlight is the wordings on the website of the universities. GRE is recommended, GRE is optional, GRE is waived off, and GRE is compulsory, right? So when it says it's compulsory, I mean, it's a no-brainer, you need to send your scores. When it is said that it is waived off, that means they will not be looking at it even if you send them the scores. So don't spend your $30 sending your scores officially through ETS. Okay, so waived off means they will not be looking at it at all. When they say it is very strongly recommended or recommended, then they will definitely consider it. So if you have it, you flaunt it. If it's a bad score, you keep quiet. If it's a good score, you send it across. When they say it's optional, the focus might not be as much on the GRE as it might be on other things. Again, if you have a good score, you show off. You don't have a good score, you keep quiet. As simple as that. Okay. Right. So if you apply to any of these colleges with an application fee waiver, you also get a 20,000 rupees scholarship from Collegepond, because we are an official representative of these universities as well. Okay, more of this is available online. And again, in case you guys are not Collegepond students, a quick 2-minute background on how Collegepond can help you out. One, with your career planning, your course selection, your profile building. Profile building, if you are going in 23, you will not have time to work on profile building for now. But you can work on your profile building before you go abroad so that you are successful there. Working with you on your country selection, college selection, and college selection is equally more important, considering whether to apply with GRE, without GRE, etc. Your documentation, paperwork, essays, applying for scholarships, your college interviews, your visa process, visa interviews, documentation, working with you and your parents on your finances, bank statements, affidavits, notaries, income tax papers, loan process, forex currency, so on and so forth. And all the way till you go there and till you get a job abroad, we will be working with you. It could be mock interviews, resume critiques, connecting to alumni, so on and so forth. Cool. A lot of our testimonials are there on the website. I will not bore you through them. A lot of upcoming events coming up. We have an SOPLOR resume writing workshop, New Zealand Day, Application Day, USA Application Day, so on and so forth. A lot of events will be there. You can RSVP on the Converge app and attend these events. Okay. The purpose of this webinar was to just give you an overview of what happens. In case you want to deep dive and discuss your case one-on-one with us, feel free to get in touch with your counselors, and when we recommend colleges to you, right? I mean, we will take into account that for sometimes some colleges will ask you to apply with GRE, some colleges will help you to apply without GRE. Two more things I want to add. For scholarships, in some universities, GRE, TOEFL, IELTS scores play an important role. Not in all colleges, in some colleges, number one. Number two, in case you are planning to take an education loan, okay, if your GRE, TOEFL, IELTS scores are good, the bank will think that, hey, you are a bright kid, your interest rates might come down. So there are times when the bank might want to know your GRE score also, to determine whether what interest rate should be charged to you. Maybe another incentive for you to maybe give the exam seriously. A lot of students are not giving the exam seriously, unfortunately, thinking that, hey, it's waived off, I have nothing to lose. Okay. And it's very unfortunate that people are getting very low grades. Everyone today is a 9+ CGPA. When I talk to students, I would say that 9 out of 10 has become suddenly the new average with the inflation of marks in the pandemic, which I'm sure will go down now, considering that offline exams have started, right? So with everyone being a 9+, if someone has a very good GRE score, I would say that they will have a better chance of getting into an optional GRE optional college as well, because the universities also are confused. I was recently talking to University of Arizona and a couple of other universities, and they mentioned that they're finding it difficult to figure out how to screen students without the GRE, because every Tom, Dick, and Harry they get has got an amazing score on the transcript, and they're like, how do we differentiate the boys from the men? That is where your GRE score will definitely give you an edge over others. Okay, great. I'm done with my talking. I'll open it up to question and answers. The recording of this webinar will be on YouTube in the next 2 days. Okay, let's go through the questions. For engineering management, GRE is waived off for fall 23. Yes, in many colleges. Marketing may require GRE in UK. Simran, I don't think so. I think only LSE needs it. For rest other colleges, it's optional. It's not compulsory. Is it okay to send GRE scores even if it is waived off? If they have used the word waived off, then don't spend that $30 in ETS. If it says optional or recommended, then it's okay to do it. Provide a list of all the colleges having waiver for GRE. Please, you will need to be a Collegepond student to get all the data points. Northeastern requires unofficial GRE scores for MS in CS. Northeastern has waived off GRE for almost all the programs. I think, Swarali, I ask you to recheck. Even for computer science, I think it is waived off. Which universities accept 3-year bachelors separately? It's a very few colleges in USA, some like Northeastern, Stevens, Boston University, 3 at the top of my head. But again, it can vary depending from course to course. GRE waived colleges for business programs. Please connect with us separately. GRE is waived for engineering management. Yes. Universities are being shortlisted by GRE, IELTS, CGPA, and undergrad. How should I shortlist them keeping the SOP in mind? Rohan, connect with us separately. We'll explain to you how we consider that as a filtering criteria. We'll address your points. Does Masters in Chemistry need GRE? Urmila, I would say again, it will vary from college to college. I would say that 70 to 80% have waived off the GRE. Exercise science, I'm sure that more than 60-70% have waived off the GRE. TOEFL score of 79, should I give it again? 100% yes. Should I send GRE scores if they have mentioned recommended? Pranav, I won't be able to comment on it. It depends on what your score are and depends on what college and program you are applying for. Okay. How much advantage does research paper provide for MS in CS? For some universities, it does. So, for example, like Purdue University, paper publications play a very important role. GRE waived off for MIS. Kunal, I would say in some colleges, yes, some colleges need it. GRE is between 300 and 305. Should I send my scores for MS in robotics? Vaibhav, I can't comment without evaluating the entire profile, the quant, verbal, essay writing, and the colleges you are applying to. For some colleges, it might be a good score. For a college like Carnegie Mellon, it is not a good score. TOEFL is 91. Should I give it again? I would say if you are targeting the top universities, then 100% yes, Rugved. Okay. Okay. What about competitive courses like computer science in Canada? Harsh, I would say that 90% colleges in Canada for computer science do not need the GRE. Is applying in November, December considered late? Nikita, is my answer going to change anything that you are gonna do? It's already October and now. So I would say the moment you are done, just go ahead and start applying. Okay. Okay. Does GRE help in scholarship with schools? I've answered that. Ayushi, this. So I'm not going to do any personal case evaluation. Sorry, there are too many people today. For that, you'll need to connect with us separately. What should be the approach if your mock AW is in the range of 3 to 4? Maybe practice more essays. I would want a minimum 4 out of 6. Eligibility criteria to enroll at Collegepond. There is no eligibility. We take all students. You can just connect with us. The contact details are in front of you. Is GRE waived off for masters in finance? Yes, a lot of top schools need the GRE for masters in finance. There are very few colleges where it's waived off, but yes, you will find them, so it will be a mixed bag. Some need, some don't need. Okay, has any UC waived off for MS in CS, UCSC, UC Davis, UCLA have? Can you cancel the GRE score if you already send the GRE score to a university, what should you do? It's a good question. You need to email them requesting them not to consider it if your score was not good. We actually have a template on the same how to email colleges requesting them not to consider your GRE score in case you sent it to them by mistake. Does UWAS require GRE for MIS? Yes, it does. IELTS score 7, all 4 sections. I think all 4 sections 7 should be good enough. TOEFL 95, should I give it again? If you're targeting top schools, I would want 100, 103 plus. GRE at 308, should I give it again? It depends on where you are with other things, your TOEFL, your SOP, LOR, resume. It's difficult to comment should you retake GRE or not. We need to evaluate what were your mock scores, what are you currently getting, your overall profile, where you are in the application process, and only then take an informed decision whether you should retake the GRE or not. 3-year degree and currently pursuing 1-year postgraduate diploma, will it be okay for US universities? I would say that 70 to 80% of the universities in USA will accept the 1-year diploma as the 16th year. Can you share the list of GRE waived universities? You can connect with your college selection counselor at Collegepond and they'll share it with you. Okay, 103 in TOEFL but 20 in speaking. Should I give TOEFL again? So if you have an 8.0 in IELTS, then Swami, I would say you can apply to USA with your 8.0 in IELTS. No need to give the TOEFL again. Can we get admission with low GRE score for MS in CS? Yes, you can. We apply without GRE. Okay. Mihir, you saying that Mihir just drop me a separate email on the same or connect with me separately. I will resolve your issue about the university shortlisting being broken. How can we check if we have sent the GRE scores to college or not? On the exam day on the ETS through website, you might have submitted it. You can log into ETS and check that out. Free colleges mentioned are the app fee waiver colleges, right? Yes, the application fees will be waived off. List of colleges where GRE is waived off for data science. Connect with the counselor at Collegepond. We'll have that shared across. Aditya, you can connect with me, Jimit at collegepond.com. Can we give GRE and TOEFL again when applying for education loan or scholarship? Yes, you can. But if you're plan to give it again, I would say you rather give it right now so you can target better colleges. Soham, connect with me separately. I think what we have done is, I remember your case, we actually made a list of colleges without GRE only and shared it with you. Sometimes we do not share a list of 40, 50 colleges. We end up confusing the students. So we try to make a shorter list of maybe 15, 20 and share it across. And then we iterate through it. Okay. Minimum IELTS score required, I would say a 7.5 should be good enough. Do you help in getting GRE waiver as UCR is providing GRE waiver? So we cannot help you in getting a GRE waiver. That is something you will have to email the university and ask for. Any specific background requirements for masters in business analytics? No, Soumya, nothing as such. We have people who done BCom, architecture, and have pharmacy and have also gone into business analytics. So there is no particular background. It's just that you should have taken math in your undergraduate studies. When will MIS applications start in November? MIS applications have already started and admits have already started coming out for some colleges. So apply whenever you are ready. Okay. If my observership letter is going to come in November, should I wait? I would say, Simran, go ahead and apply without it if you can. You can always update it later on with your observership letter. Will my GRE score be considered if I send it for free during the exam day, but I want to apply without GRE? You will have to email the college and clarify me, because if it's in their database, some universities might do an automatic mapping. Okay, I've sent my TOEFL of 91 to various colleges, but now I want to give IELTS. Get a good score in IELTS that can supersede TOEFL, and you can inform the university to use IELTS instead of TOEFL. Is 321 GRE good for top universities? It depends on the college and the course. Difficult to comment. 315 GRE good enough for MSBA programs? Cannot comment without knowing the college and the breakup and the overall profile. Minimum IELTS required 7.5. We discussed that. Okay. Planning to apply for MIS GRE 286. Retake only if you're sure of getting a 300, 305 plus NA. Otherwise, apply without the GRE. Minimum CGPA for MS in CS. Tanya, will vary from college to college. What should be seen, the QS ranking or any other ranking? Shubham, we do not look at rankings at all. Rankings are important if you want to do PhD. Otherwise, predominantly we look at brand name and jobs only. Is USC offering GRE waiver? The answer is yes. Admits for fall 23 are out already or spring? Fall 23 admits have already started coming out for some programs. If GRE is optional, what is the chance of my admit if my CGPA is above 9? Himsahana, most of the students have a CGPA of above 9 today with the inflation of marks. So without knowing your overall profile and the college and the course, it's difficult for me to comment. Priority deadline for MIS in most colleges, target to apply before November end. Okay. I'm told most students don't do the applying. Vaibhav Raheja, I'm sorry I didn't get your question. Can you connect with me separately and we'll take it offline? What is the priority deadline, Ashwarya, for MIS November end? Could you please share an exhaustive list along with deadlines? Karina, connect with your university counselor and we'll send it across. Deadline for fall 24 applications for MS in CS. I mean, for fall 24, I would say that maybe for early bird, you want to complete by October 2023.